What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now you guys could probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, guys, definitely going to see this one as we got a major backfire coming for the former special counsel Jack Smith and the bad actors that came after Donald Trump, as their days of dodging and running from accountability are finally up in this newest update, guys. I'm excited to get into it. So now I'm straight into it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Post reports that President-elect Trump plans to fire the entire team that worked under special counsel Jack Smith at the Justice Department. Those DOJ employees worked on 2 federal prosecutions against the incoming president. The report adds that Trump is planning to assemble teams within the department to investigate alleged fraud in the 2020 election. Let's work on unpacking some of this as we move forward. More on the President-elect Trump's plans for the Justice Department in particular. We are joined by former federal prosecutor Andrew Cherkasky. Thank you so much for giving us a little time on this Saturday afternoon, Andrew. We greatly appreciate it. Kicking things off with just the first start, the idea that an entire team might be fired. Now, it's not unusual for an incoming president, incoming administration to bring in new people, new teams, particularly when legal concerns are made, AGs all across the nation. Your thoughts on this particular headline?
Well, when you look at the people who worked under Jack Smith, you have to think about the credibility of the actions that they brought. First, we have an election that just strongly communicated that the American public vehemently disagrees with what Jack Smith had done over the last 4 years. But then you have to look at the fact that these attorneys working under Jack Smith were pushing a novel legal issue that failed at almost every turn, to include as it went up to the Supreme Court. So if those are the attorneys that were working there, does Donald Trump really want those attorneys to continue in the DOJ? And so I think it's absolutely appropriate to be thinking about and talking about the idea that those folks may be well suited to leave the DOJ. We're not talking criminal prosecutions of those folks, but I think the idea of seeing them out the door is probably wise.
It's no surprise. I know this came as no surprise, especially to those DOJ workers. They knew they were getting the boot. Donald Trump was coming to clean house the day he was elected in as president. This is no shock at all. You know, they know exactly what they did, and they better hope that it's not more than just a firing at this point.
You just increasingly get the sense this case is disappearing. Am I right?
Well, it has to disappear for 4 years, Neil, because while President Trump is in office, it won't be possible as a legal or practical matter to proceed against him. So I think it'll be disappearing from our consciousness in any event, because there's not enough time to get through the litigation that's on the table and impose sentence, enter a judgment of conviction, and run with the appellate process before January 20th. So obviously it's got to be suspended.
And it is a little weird, right, where the judge involved says that Donald Trump and his legal team can go ahead and file a motion to dismiss the case. That's unusual, is it not?
No, after people get convicted, it's a commonplace to file a motion to vacate the guilty verdict. That happens all the time. What's unusual in this case, Neil, is that the basis for filing the dismissal motion mostly arose after the trial. So, for example, the Supreme Court's immunity ruling came out a month after the jury verdict. And now you have this unprecedented situation where the defendant pending sentence gets elected president, which I think everybody is trying to wrestle with the legal complications of that, because on the one hand, it's the law that federal courts usually won't interfere with state criminal proceedings, but it's also constitutional law that state officials and governments can't take actions that prevent the federal government from functioning. So they're trying to grapple with these things.
And as you indicate, it's a state criminal case. Enter New York Governor Kathy Hochul, who could conceivably pardon the president-elect, right? I mean, how likely is that?
I think it's unlikely, because my Neil is that the trajectory of this is that they're pushing to a suspension for the 4 years while Trump is president, it's going to be off the radar screen. And my own view is, 5 years from now, when former president or President Trump leaving office will be 83 years old and a twice elected president, hopefully coming off a successful term as president, no prosecutor in his right mind would want to take that case.
No prosecutor, no judge in their right mind would allow this case to be brought about in their court in the first place. That's why we've seen this case being dropped. And then it was finally picked up by Bragg and his corrupt prosecutor's office. I mean, come on, you guys. This case should have never been brought about. And the fact that they're even considering delaying this for another 4 years, absolutely insane. This judge
will be 83 years old and a twice elected president, hopefully coming off a successful term as president. No prosecutor in his right mind would want to take that case. So I think it may go away then, but I don't think it's going to go away now.
Separately, you're hearing this talk that the Trump administration, even though Jack Smith is leaving and wants to leave before Donald Trump assumes office,
we all know why Jack Smith is trying to run while he's leaving, guys. He is running for dear life right now.
Is leaving and wants to leave before Donald Trump assumes office, that the president and his team are looking at firing all of Jack Smith's team. I don't even know if that's accurate, but can he do that?
Well, not really. I mean, he can get rid of political appointees. Smith is a political appointee, so if he was trying to stay, he could be fired. But most of these other people are career DOJ people who have civil service protection. Now, President Trump is going to enter or re-enter. He did this executive order the first time around to try to give him broader ability to fire people who had civil service protection. You can always get rid of political appointees. It's the career people who are tough to get rid of. Biden reversed it when he came in. Trump is promising to reinstate it, but the second he tries to fire someone under it, it's going to court, and who knows how long it'll be tied up in court. So I'm hearing the same things you're hearing, all this talk about like mass firings. It's not going to be possible to do mass firings. I'm hearing all this stuff about we're going to investigate the 2020 election fraud. There's a 5-year statute of limitations in federal law. You're not going to be able to bring 2020 cases in, 2025, 2026 as we go down the road. So I think this is a kind of thing. You and I hear this all the time. This is like the sort of interregnum between the election and the inauguration, where there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen. And then I think January 20th comes and events start to happen and all this talk kind of dissipates.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Andy McCarthy clearing the air up, saying that Trump won't be investigating the 2020 election, saying the statute of limitations is far exceeded. But I'll tell you what he can still investigate into. It's definitely those DOJ officials, that crooked Jack Smith, all the bad actors that came after him with these political witch hunts, charade cases. We're seeing that crooked Jack Smith is trying to run as fast as he can in order to save his hide, because he knows exactly what's coming next. And that corrupt Judge Juan Merchan should probably be following suit because of the way he's allowed Alvin Bragg to politicize his courtroom. I mean, all these rogue agents, they have to be held accountable for their actions so that it never happens again. Hope they don't think by, Jack Smith resigning, Judge Juan Merchan considering completely dropping the case, tossing it out, that they're going to get off scot-free, because I don't think that'll be the case, guys. But definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.